Oppai Hunters.
Hello and welcome to a different type of Oppai Hunters video as we move towards our year anniversary here on Oppai Hunters, as well as to move forward now that we have passed our 100 subscriber milestone. Thank you, by the way. We want to start to diversify the content a little bit. Anime reviews will still be our bread and butter, but we want to sprinkle in some other stuff so that things don't get too stale around here. And since all three of us are descending into idol hell, Jules had the idea of why not do some reviews of Love Live music. So today we are going to be starting with Muse's subunit songs, with Aqua's to come in the near future. And of course, we would love to know your thoughts on Muse's subunit songs as well, so let us know your favorites and least favorites in the comment section below. And with that, let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy.
Top 3 Printemps songs.
Number 3, Unbalanced Love. Number 2, Sweet and Sweet Holiday. And number 1, No Exit Orion. It was so hard to find 3 good Printemps songs, but I did it. I deserve a medal. What I like about No Exit Orion is that I usually don't like Kotori and Hanayo's voice, but it actually sounds good in this song. And I think the beat is really nice. It's not like too upbeat. It's not slow. It's just a nice casual song you can just put on. It's just nice to vibe with. And like I said, it's nice to hear Kotori and Hanayo sounding good. And Honoka usually sounds good, but when they all mesh together, it's the perfect Printemps song.
Alright, my top 3 for Printemps is number 3, Nightingale Love Song. Number 2, Love Marginal. And number 1, No Exit Orion. All of these songs were C tier or below, so this was a hard choice because I don't care for Printemps. But No Exit Orion had a really good beat. I still didn't care for their voices, but overall as a song, it was pretty catchy, and if it just had different voices, it'd definitely be more up my tiers.
My top 3 Printemps is No Exit Orion at 3, A and Friends at number 2, and then Love Marginal at number 1. And Love Marginal purely wins because it didn't do much for me in general, but it didn't really have very many negatives, and it's like the only Printemps song that they had before they went into like the character voices, and that is a big thing that drags down the rest of the songs, especially with Kotori's super baby voice. And I typically like the deeper side of voices in Love Live, and this is all we got for this subgroup.
Top 3 Lily White songs.
Number 3, Benetsukara Mystery. Number 2, Shunjo Romantic. And number 1, Onaji Hoshi ga Mitai.
Good.
I had not listened to this song prior to our listen through, and my god, have I been missing out in my life. It has that perfect like 90s, 80s synth aesthetic that I'd get from Initial D, and I was in love immediately as soon as I heard the beat. And the vocals, beautiful. I don't like Nozomi's voice, I'll put that out there. But I don't even mind it in this song. Rin and Umi, fantastic voice work. But this song just gives me such Initial D vibes that I have to put it up top. S tier song, for sure.
My top 3 for Lily White is number 3, Anone Gambare. Number 2, Odohime Heart de Love Kyuden. And number 1, Shunjo Romantic. Shunjo Romantic is just such a good song. I love the beat. I can listen to it so many times. It is sadly not S tier, but it is high up in the A tier. And I just really love this song. It's one of their best songs, as I chose. I think everyone should listen to it.
My Lily White top 3 is Kimi no Kusei ni, which I have to put a disclaimer on that one. I really like the song, but I can't avoid the elephant in the room of the part in the hook where they're whispering. That is a detriment to the song, but I like the rest of it so much that it still made it to the top 3. Number 2 is Shunjo Romantic, and number 1 is Orohime Hato de Urabu Kyuden. I just really like the vibes of the song, and then what we've described in other songs as like the 80s spy kind of instrumental, just really vibe with it and is enjoyable.
Top 3 BiBi songs.
Now, going into this, I knew I was a BiBi fan, so this top 3 wasn't that hard. I love a lot of BiBi songs because I do love Ellie, Nico, and Maki's voices, and best Muse subgroup. Anyway, number 3, love novels. I know you're gonna hate me for that, Jason Monk. Number 2, Cutie Panther. Number 1, Psychic Fire. I at first did not like Psychic Fire back when I first listened to it, but with continued listens, I was like, yo, this shit is a bop. And I can actually WOTA this song. I know the WOTA shit for this song. The dance is fucking great for this song. Just like the upbeatness and like you just get into it with the song. That's why I love Psychic Fires. And it's easy to WOTA to. Like if you really want to get into a song to like know how to WOTA when someone's performing it, easy song to do it to. Definitely recommend. Great song.
My top 3 for BiBi are number 3, Psychic Fire, number 2, Trouble Busters, and number 1, Saite de Psycho no Paradiso. I have always loved the song. It's one I feel of the most underrated songs in probably Muse, honestly. It's such a bop for me. I could listen to it on repeat for hours. I don't know, just something about their singing. I don't know, I just love every single part of it, and I wish more people would listen to it.
And for my BiBi top 3, at number 3, I have Diamond Princess no Yutsu. Number 2 is Natsu Owari Naide. And number 1 is Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan. 2 of my top 3 are the slower songs of BiBi, which the other 2 don't enjoy as much. But I feel like BiBi's at its best in my personal taste when they're doing the slower songs, and Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan is the better of the 2 slow songs, and overall I really enjoy how it sounds.
The bottom 3.
My worst 3 of all time are all Printemps songs in no particular order. I cannot stand any of these songs, no matter what level you play them on. Like, I have zero order to this. It's Cheer Day, Cheer Girl, Pua Oh, and Wow Wow Powerful Day. I never want to listen to these songs ever again. They all sound just cheery and baby voiced and just the worst of Love Live is in these songs. When I think of Printemps, this is what I think of, is these worst songs, because I never think Printemps has good songs because of these songs. I gave all of these F tiers. I can't stand these.
My bottom 3 are in a particular order, for a certain reason we'll see, with my number 1 being the worst of all time. Number 3 would be Wow Wow Powerful Day. Number 2 would be Love Novels, and number 1 would be Cutie Panther. I know I said it's for personal reasons, but Cutie Panther is also just such a cringy song. I don't know why anyone, Jules, would listen to it willingly.
Excuse me.
I hate it. I don't want to listen to any of these songs. They're all F tier. But Cutie Panther is the one I want to just run away from. I will die from cringe from it. I never want to listen to it again.
And
if you have fucking Love Novels on there, I swear to God.
My bottom 3 overall. Number 3, Love Novels. Because thing about love novels is, I don't like the song, and I've heard it too many times. So it's just at the point where, like, if it comes on, I'm like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. My number 2 is Wow Wow Powerful Day. And number 1, by a mile. And that's saying a lot considering that I don't like those other 2 songs already. Is Pua Pua O. It hurts to listen to this fucking song. I legitimately hate it more than any other Love Live song, maybe even song in general that I've heard. This song is hot garbage.
Jason had a visceral reaction re-listening to it. He had an out-of-body experience. I'm just waiting for, like, Jason to find some footage of, like, just one person clapping and everyone else just glaring, and that's me with love novels.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that.
Top 3 of all time! Number 3, Cutie Panther. Number 2, Psychic Fire. And number 1, Onaji Hoshi ga Mitai. It was my first time listening to it, and it's the best subunit song. I have listened to this song every day since hearing it for the first time. I'm obsessed with this song. I didn't expect a Lily White song to be my favorite song, but here we are, and I can't recommend it enough. If you like synth, 90s style kind of music, listen to it. Listen to it right now. It's on Spotify. Go. Go do it now.
My top 3. Number 3, Shunjo Romantic. Number 2, Trouble Busters. And number 1, Saite de Psycho no Paradiso. I ranted how much I love this in the BiBi section, and I will rant how much I love this in the top 3 section. I love this song to death. I have always loved this song to death. It is so amazing. More people need to listen to it. It's just, again, it's just such a bop. I love it. I don't know. I can't explain my crazy love for it, but it will always be my number 1.
My number 3 is Shunjo Romantic, and there's a bit of a gap between my enjoyment of this song and my number 2. So that kind of says something about my enjoyment overall, but we'll get to that. Number 2 is Fuyu ga Kureta Yokan, and number 1 is Orohime Hato de Rabu Kyuden. I really like this song. This originally wasn't my number 1 on the first listen. Shunjo Romantic actually was. But in re-listening to it to organize my list, this shot up to being my favorite one by a good margin. And this is one of the few songs out of all of these songs that we've listened to today that I might actually go back and listen.
Favorite subgroup.
So mine was really fucking close because I did point values. I think we all did. Jason didn't know. And BiBi won by a single point. And before going into this, I originally thought BiBi was my favorite subunit. And it kind of hurts because, like, I didn't think Lily White was going to have my favorite song and how close it was. But I have to say that BiBi is my favorite subunit after all, because not only do I love every member in BiBi, like, minus the singing and stuff, but I genuinely do like more of their songs than any of the other subunits in Muse. And I'll say this, I am not a Muse fan. I am a Aqua stan 100% of the way through. I barely care for any Muse stuff, but I can't say that I don't love BiBi. BiBi is my best subunit, hands down.
My top subunit is BiBi, and it hurts to say that because Lily White had a lot of my high tiers. But I say this because Saite de Psycho no Paradiso, Trouble Busters are in my S tier, and that S tier is a mile above A tier. These are songs I'm willing to listen to a million times a day. I always vibe and bop with. I love them so much. And just because these songs are so good to me, I have to put BiBi above Lily White. Lily White has good songs because they have good vocals, but nothing can beat the happiness I get when I listen to these BiBi songs.
So I am the odd one out here, and my favorite group is actually Lily White. Overall, I just feel like Lily White is pretty solid, with my lowest tier being a D rank, which is just a light dislike. I don't actively hate the song, it's just if I had a choice, I would probably skip over them. But overall, I generally enjoy the songs, with Lily White also having the highest highs out of the groups. And honestly, the gap is pretty significant between Lily White and BiBi, which is my number 2. Because BiBi has songs that I actively dislike, songs that I never want to listen to again, and then Printemps has the lowest lows out of all 3 groups. So Lily White is standing on a pretty nice pedestal, even despite me not really liking Nozomi's singing voice. That just didn't really drag down my enjoyment of the songs too much.
Final thoughts.
I was right. I don't particularly like Muse songs, even when it comes down to the subunit songs. A lot of these songs got C tiers and below from me. I'm glad I went through this, though, to find my number 1 song. Printemps is garbage. Debate me in the comments, go ahead. If you like them, great. They're just not for me, fam. I can't vibe with Katori and Hanayo's voice, and just a lot of the songs just sound too baby for me. And I feel like I just cannot wait for when we do Aqua's subgroup songs. I love so many of their songs, and this just felt like kind of a chore to get through for me.
Yeah, I sadly agree with Joel's. A lot of these subgroup songs were C tier and below, like probably majority of them, to be honest. Which really sucked because I thought I loved Muse, but I just really love certain songs from their subgroups. It was just a lot of them were either lackluster or boring. It really did feel like a chore to have to listen through all of these. A lot of times I either just wanted to mute my audio or just fall asleep from how boring or annoying they were. So I will say I am a little bit excited to listen to the Aqua subgroups. And Printemps is trash.
And bouncing off of what Monk just said, now that I think about it, I did actually fall asleep listening through these songs when we were doing it. But yeah, I'm not nearly as big into the music of Love Live as these two are, but I'm slowly getting there. And the whole time we were listening to it, in my mind, I was just thinking about like the Aqua songs and the Niji songs that I like, and really none of them hit that mark for me. And as I said before, like there's only like 1 or 2 songs that I feel like I would be like, you know what, I'm looking for some music to listen to. Let me type in one of these subgroup songs. Like 90% of them, like they said, is like C or lower. Like I was either neutral or didn't like it, with a few gems in there. So overall, Muse's subgroups didn't do much of anything for me. Printemps sucks.
Yay! Hey yo, yeah, you like content? You know what's better? Content with that spice. You see this graph? There is a direct correlation between spice and quality. And if you want that spice, sub to Oppai Hunters. Like this video if you agree with us. Dislike this video. Actually, no. Just cut that out. Wait. No, fuck.